Vikings Valhalla is the spin-off to the popular History Channel series Vikings. The spin-off is set about 100 years after the end of Vikings and steers clear of the Lothbrok family. The series focuses on a lot of new characters, but the central plot of the show revolves around Chief Leif Erikson, who, much like most characters in the series, was indeed a real person. Fans learned a few things about the character over the course of 8 episodes of the first season, some of which have been fictionalized for adding more drama to the story. So what was the real Leif Erikson like? Here are 10 things only history nerds know about Leif Erikson. Number 10. He was more of an explorer than a warrior. Vikings Valhalla makes a deliberate effort to portray Leif as one of Norse history's legendary and capable warriors, and despite not having shed human blood prior to the start of the show, he appears to be well versed in hunting. The show even throws a few hints that Leif can fight polar bears. Well, we're sorry to tell you, but a lot of this was completely fabricated by the showrunners. While all this action makes for exciting storytelling and helps in establishing Leif as a strong leader, which is a requirement for the plot's progression, the real Leif Erikson was not known for being a great Viking warrior. Rather, he was known to be an incredibly capable and wise explorer. While the real Leif was a competent warrior, it was not an integral part of his personality, and he was known for his strength, good looks, and intelligence, rather than his ability to swing a sword. In this way, Leif is very similar to Ragnar Lothbrok. He embodies Ragnar's legacy, as the great Viking not only established a reputation for war and bloodshed, but also for exploration, settlement, and adoption of the religion. In his real-life sagas, Leif discovers a place called Vinland, establishes a trading colony there, and even converts to Christianity during his stay in Norway. Valhalla omits the fact that some, if not all, of Leif's most exciting and bold achievements were because of his love for traveling and exploration, but since we're only 1 season in, it still has the potential to channel this part of Leif's legacy. Number 9. His father was the original colonizer of Greenland. Eric the Red, Leif's father, is depicted in Vikings as an outlaw who manipulates his way to the throne of Kattegat. In historical accounts, however, it was he, not Ube and the Icelandic settlers, who discovered Greenland, as depicted in the original series. Because Ube is a more important character on the show, crediting him for the discovery of one of the most significant Viking regions makes more sense than Eric, who only appears in the series on a rare occasion. Eric the Red was born in Norway, but his family was exiled to Iceland after his father committed manslaughter there. Eric married a wealthy woman and had 4 children, one of whom he named Leif. Unfortunately, Eric was temporarily exiled after killing a neighbor in a dispute. Instead of returning to Norway, he headed west, settling in a vast, uninhabited region. Once his banishment was lifted, Eric decided to try to establish a new colony on the island he'd discovered. He started to persuade people to move to his newly founded land. Eric was incredibly smart and a master of human psychology, just like Leif. He gave the place an appealing name, Greenland, to entice others to move there. The strategy ended up being really successful, and people migrated in masses to Greenland. Number 8. Leif had a murderous half-sister. Freydis, Leif's sister, is portrayed as a total badass in the spin-off series. While she was just as ruthless in real life as she is in the show, she was more of a villain rather than the heroic figure portrayed on screen. Freydis manipulated her husband Thorvard into murdering men she didn't like and slaughtered innocent women at a settlement. The story goes that Leif and her husband Thorvard embarked on a journey to the New World while Leif was serving as Greenland's chieftain. While the couple were staying in Vinland, Freydis told Thorvard that 2 brothers, Helgi and Finnbogi, had beaten her, which according to historical accounts was a lie, and demanded that he kill the men. The brothers were staying at a separate campsite with a few other Vikings. Thorvard, Freydis, and some of their neighbors marched to the camp and slaughtered everyone there. But that didn't satisfy Freydis' thirst for blood. She grabbed an axe and went on a murderous rampage on the camp's unarmed women. Leif was told of the crime upon her return to Greenland, but he couldn't bring himself to punish his half-sibling sister, which reveals a great flaw in Leif's moral fabric, which is why maybe the show steered clear of this story, since he is supposed to be the show's main protagonist. Number 6. He was raised by an enslaved man. Because Leif's father, Eric, was mostly busy as the colony's chief, a German slave named Tyrker did the majority of the work of raising young Leif. He played an important role in taking care of Leif while Eric was in exile from Ireland, and even taught him how to read, write, and trade. As a result, Leif began to see Tyrker as a father figure. Number 5. He had at least 2 sons. Leif Erikson has at least 2 confirmed children. When his crew got lost on their way to join Olaf Tryggvason, they landed on the Hebrides, near Scotland. Due to bad weather, the crew were forced to stay there for more than a month, during which time Leif got a lord's daughter pregnant before fleeing to Norway, leaving her behind. However, when she gave birth to a son, Thorgils Leifson, Leif agreed to care for him. Thorgils' mother sent him to Greenland to live with Leif. Leif had another son named Thorkel with an unknown woman at some point in his life. Number 4. He was a Christian missionary. Eric sent Leif out to Norway in 999 CE to serve as a royal enforcer for King Olaf Tryggvason, who was a huge supporter of Christianity. In his time there, Leif became more and more interested in the religion and eventually converted. The king gave Leif a special mission in 1000 or 1001 CE. He told him to preach Christianity in Greenland. When Leif returned to his father's island, he struggled to spread the gospel. His mother, Theodhild, was quick to accept the new faith. She also demanded the construction of a chapel near her home. His father, on the other hand, refused to abandon his pagan beliefs. As a result, Theodhild stopped sleeping with him in retaliation. Number 3. He succeeded his father as chieftain. Eric the Red did not accompany Leif to North America, and he died soon after Leif returned to Greenland. The island's population had swelled to more than 2,000 people by that time. Leif is said to have retired as a voyager soon after succeeding his father as chieftain of Greenland. It isn't known exactly when Leif died, but it was most likely before Leif's son Thorkel took over as chieftain in 1025 CE. Number 2. He was the first European to step foot in North America. While many historians believe Christopher Columbus was the first European to set foot on North American soil, others believe it was Leif Erikson. Leif is thought to have arrived in America 500 years before Columbus. Because of its vine fields, he named the land Vinland, but the name never stuck. This, however, would contradict the conclusion of the original Vikings, which claimed that Floki and later Ube were the first to reach the shores of North America. There are a lot of conflicting stories about how Leif got to America. According to one historical account, after Leif separated from King Olaf, he traveled back to Greenland. On his way, he steered off track and ended up discovering the American continent. There is another popular story about how Leif discovered America and is backed up by a book titled The Saga of the Greenlander, which was written in the 13th century and is believed to be one of the most accurate depictions of Norse history. According to this text, a trader named Bjarni Herjolfsson spotted the landmass from his ship one day, but did not go to the island to explore. Bjarni began telling stories about this strange new land, and Leif, being the explorer that he was, got intrigued by the story and set out with a 35-man crew to find the mysterious land. Number 1. He was actually acknowledged by a U.S. president. Calvin Coolidge, the 30th president of the USA, acknowledged that Leif was the first European to set foot on American soil while speaking to a 100,000-strong crowd at the Minnesota State Fair in 1925. But his statement wasn't very well received. Since then, most other U.S. presidents have avoided discussing Leif Erikson because his status as a pioneer remains a point of contention among Columbus aficionados. And since Columbus is far more popular than Leif, it isn't very likely that he will be losing his spot as the founder of America in the history books anytime soon. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about the real Leif Erikson? Do you think that the show does a good job portraying the character? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.